Hey everyone, Melissa here, and I wanted to come into my business page because I just wanted to share some insights and have a conversation around some things that are coming up that I feel is really important to discuss. I didn't announce that I was coming on live, but I just had this feeling that I needed to, and so I'm going with my intuition and I'm showing up here. I put in the description for this about what can you do for you during quarantine and beyond. And I think that's been the big question because now we have information coming out that it looks like the quarantine will be lifted and we'll start re-entering into our day-to-day, but we're not quite sure how that's going to look. And I know there's a lot of controversy that's coming up around this as well. And for me, I'm not one to really get into a debate or be political or that kind of thing. I feel like the best thing I can do for myself is to recognize that one, information is always skewed by the media and the press because they want to slant it in a way that's in favor or not in favor. It almost is like poking the bear or stirring the pot, so to speak. And when you start reading things, especially on social media, recognize that there isn't always truth to everything you read. I mean, there may be a very small piece of it, but it's like the telephone game when we were younger. Like each person says something and then it gets told, and by the end of it, it's a totally different story or situation or circumstance. And I feel like that's where, if you're finding yourself following social media platforms or listening to every little bit of news that you can, I get it. You need to be educated and aware and know what's going on. But I want to just caution you that you're filling your thoughts and your mind with information that may not be serving you in its best form. So if you realize that you're taking care of you in this moment in time, you're keeping your health, you're trying to stay healthy, taking care of what you have control over at this point. Some of you have lost your jobs and some of you are laid off for who knows how long. Some of you are entrepreneurs who are trying to figure out how to navigate this in your favor to keep your business open or going. A lot of people that were online are learning how to navigate things. I personally am learning how to navigate just in a way that supports me and being around other people, which I really enjoy the human touch and connection. So just being stuck behind a lens sometimes can be uncomfortable. But I really feel like this conversation leads to around first take care of you. First make sure that you're not taking everything wholeheartedly. Like everything that's posted on social media, in the news, everything that's out there, take it for what its value is for you. So if they're talking about lifting the restrictions of staying in place, that's awesome, right? Make that feel good. Don't figure out the hows. Don't figure out what it looks like. Just go, okay, we're moving towards reopening. And then just wait till the next thing. Because sometimes what our mind will cause us to do is we hear information and then we start creating all these stories around it. We start developing our own understanding and what that looks like. Or we're playing the, well, what if this and what if that and should and could and would. Like we don't even have a story in front of us and we're already creating it in our mind. Now, our mind's a powerful thing, and it sure can run down a rabbit hole if we allow it. And that's what I want to encourage you to knock that off and really get clear to the fact that take the information as it comes and process it as it needs to be processed. So it's not a matter of making your own interpretation of what that looks like to reopen. It basically is just letting you know we're moving in a positive direction. We're trying to find the virus, getting a hold of the virus so that it doesn't spread. We've come up with new practices and you've learned things about yourself about, washing your hands and not touching your face and staying in place and those kind of things. And that's all well and good. And that's what your part is in all of this, is to do that. It's not your part to figure out in your head, in your mind, how this is all going to turn out or what's the next thing that's going to happen or what's the next thing they're going to have us do. You don't know. We don't know. Things change so quickly sometimes we forget that. Probably even growing up or even, in your adult life, there were situations and circumstances you thought were going to play out one way and they played out a totally different way than what you had expected. And most of the time it was better than what you had expected, I would hope. And that's one of the things that I teach around conscious language is what you're speaking out is truth and what you're processing in your mind is truth as well. So the conscious language is trying to say, I want to have an abundant supply of money or something better. I want to have a loving relationship or something better. Because if we limit ourselves to only being able to get what is in front of us, we oftentimes will miss out on other opportunities. So the whole conversation here is just what can you do while you're in quarantine right now with the media that's coming through, with the social media posts that's coming through, the news that's being, like, you process it for you. Sometimes people like to journal about it, and again, that's fine. Just get it out of your head because you don't want to keep doing the doom and gloom and the fearfulness and the scared. Like, I get it. It is uncomfortable. It really is uncomfortable. But by using the word uncomfortable, again, there's conscious language. Instead of saying I'm scared and I'm fearful, I'm really just uncomfortable because I'm in a place that I've not been before and it's unfamiliar to me. And I know I've experienced places like that before. And I know I will get out on the other side of it. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm willing to stay in my right mind, in my positive mind, to trusting and having faith that everything is going to work out to my highest and best good. And I'm hoping that the decisions that are made on my behalf are being made with everything that can possibly be taken into consideration, and that we'll learn how to, and the big word right now is pivot, through this plot twist of life and reframe what it was we were up against and what our life looked like before, because there's going to be some rebuilding. You know, that's one of the things that I'm doing next week on Tuesday is I'm offering a virtual vision board workshop, and the whole purpose behind that was for me to help you start manifesting from quarantine. Start thinking about what it looks like beyond this, because we're not going to be staying stuck here. We don't know what it's going to look like once everything gets moving forward again. We don't know what the aftermath is going to look like or feel like, or even, you know, we just can't even predict that. We can just do each day when we wake up, doing what's in our highest and best good. How can I serve myself? How can I serve others? What can I do to keep my mind at ease? What can I do to start seeing what I'm going to do next? You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that's like, you know what, I'm laid off from my job, and I've realized I really don't like it. I don't like what I do there. I don't like the people. I don't like the pay. I don't like the drive, whatever it might be. This is the time to start manifesting a new opportunity for yourself. Get clear on what it is you want. What kind of job do you want? What would you do instead if you weren't doing that job? And don't limit yourself to say, oh, that's not possible, Melissa. I've already got 20 years into that company. I'll just stay till, you know, another 10 and retire. And that to me is very shallow mind thinking. And it really puts yourself in a position that says, I'm not worth something better. I'll just stay here. It's comfortable. It's what I know. And with what has just happened in our society, I think that the question is if not now, then when? Because you're putting yourself in not only a job that you don't like, but you're also affecting yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically, just like this whole virus has done for everyone. It's put us in a mentally, physically, and emotionally discomfort. And so I want to encourage you to really think about ways that this time down to reflect on what you were doing before and how life was just moving along, and then what you're going to do after. What next big moves are you going to make? What steps are you going to take? Who are you going to become? What's the next best version of you? Because I truly believe that our thought process right now, we are thinking differently. I think people that go out to eat all the time are now home cooking more, and realizing maybe they like that better. They like having the family set at the table. They like trying new recipes. I've seen a lot of food recipes coming across social media, and I tell you what, it looks divine. You know, so maybe our times of eating out as often as we did are going to be limited to now we're going to spend more time at home preparing our own meals, and it could be healthier for us, and it gives us family time, and it saves us time with the drive going there and the drive coming home and the time that you spend there. So that's a positive. It may be somebody recognizes that they would starve if they didn't eat out because they are not very good at grocery shopping or preparing their meals. It could have that effect. Whatever it looks like, start thinking about that. Start filling a journal out or making a list of things that you did before and what you're doing now and what you're going to do moving beyond that. Because I really feel when we put our order into the cosmic kitchen of what it is we desire, we start finding, I call them winks from the universe, that we're on the right path, that we're headed towards what we truly desire. Let me give you another example. When you go into a restaurant to order from a menu, first of all, do you look at the price or do you look at what it is you want to eat? That's the first thing, because when you look at the price, that tells me right there that you have a money mindset that tells you can't afford to eat what it is you desire. So you're going to go based on your price. So that's a whole nother lesson, and that'll be a part of the workshop. So be sure to register for that. I'll put the link below, but it is a vision board workshop next Tuesday night, starting at 8 p.m., and it's going to be Manifest from Quarantine. So if you're someone that goes into a restaurant and you use the price as your gauge of what you're going to eat, that's money mindset. That's another thought process. That's a whole nother workshop. But if you look at what you want and you order whatever it is that you desire, you're going to have the salad with the ranch dressing, you're going to have the steak cooked medium, you're going to have shrimp on the side, you're going to have a sweet potato with butter and cinnamon, you're going to have a glass of Chardonnay wine, whatever, it's what you want. You give that to the waiter or waitress, and then you sit and wait, right? You wait for that order to come, be placed in front of you, and with the expectations that everything is going to be prepared. Two things happen. One, it's more delicious than you thought it would be, or two, it's subpar and you eat it anyway. And that's okay. The whole point of that analogy, that story, was when you place an order with the Cosmic Kitchen, it's the same way. I want to have these things. I desire these things in my life. Now, I get it. It's not like snap your fingers, poof, here it is, genie in the bottle. You got 3 wishes. But what it does, though, is when you make that statement or that order, then you start from a place of stepping into action. You start stepping into a place of action because that's what puts things in motion. And that's where you can get from something that you desire that would be good or something better because you didn't even know to ask for that. That's what manifesting looks like. That's how it works. And there's some other tips and tricks that I'm going to help you during that workshop, but also, creating that vision board, not only in your mind, but on something tangible that you can look at every day, and then start creating the story around it for your life. Like it's coming, it's already there. You already know it's on its way. So that's what I want to share with you today. I also want to just mention this being at home and some of you are experiencing discomfort beyond what you're used to. I offer a free conversation by phone if you're willing to say yes. And the reason I want to offer that is because I know from my own journey, from working with my clients, how difficult it can be when we just keep bottling things up inside of us, when we just keep storing it inside of us. And 2 things are going to happen. One, it's physically going to wear you down and your body's going to give out on you, or you're going to cause the biggest shitstorm ever in your life because you're going to explode with all of this anger and sadness and frustration and guilt and shame and whatever those emotions are inside of you. So I want to give you an outlet. You can't do this alone always. I mean, we had our parents and our grandparents and our siblings help raise us. We had teachers, guidance counselors, and principals that helped raise us. We had bosses, supervisors, owners of companies that helped raise us. And so why would you not want the support now? You can have your friends' conversation. You can have your partner and that conversation. But when you can speak to someone that lets you speak your truth, without judgment, without bias, just holding that space for you to just offset all of that, whatever it may look like. And believe you, there's nothing that you can say to me that I would feel is bizarre or that I would have any emotional attachment, any judgment, nothing. I'm here for you. I want a mirror for you so that you can give me all of that that's making you feel uncomfortable, and let's start shifting it, because once you speak it out and release it, then you can start replacing it with that conscious language. Maybe you're stuck and stalled on something and you don't even know what that is. Or maybe you just feel like crap and you just don't know how to move out of that. Maybe your desire was to really take full advantage of being in quarantine and getting a million things done, and you haven't started one single thing. Those are the kind of conversations we can have. It can be relationship, it can be finances, it can be health, wellness, whatever it is. Just take advantage of that conversation with me. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer that you would just schedule in my calendar. We'll get on the telephone and we will just talk about it and get it released and maybe shift whatever it is that you're stuck. So hopefully I'll get to talk to a lot of you that keep hearing this message but don't fully take advantage of it. So I'll put my calendar link below. I'll also put my link to the vision board that's coming up next Tuesday night. And then I also have another workshop Thursday noon, and it's on 3 keys to your success in these uncertain times, and it'll be presented through Beautiful Faces Going Places. As the host, it'll be a webinar. If you want that information, the link will be below too, that you can register for your seat in that as well. So again, I just wanted to come in and give you some of this additional support. I know it's tough. I know there's a lot of uncertainty. I know there's a lot of uncomfortableness. I know there's a lot of ease for some people because they're not getting up going to that 9-to-5 job that they don't like. And I know that it's really opening up our mind to think about things way differently than maybe what we once did. And, you know, it's my passion and purpose to help others to grow their life by design, live on purpose, and just fully engage in what we really have available to us if we just ask for it. There's no need for us to work hard and not feel fulfilled and be stressed out and angry and tired. That's not what we came here to do. We came here to live a fully abundant, on purpose life. And so I want to help you do that. So hopefully you'll take advantage of those opportunities that I've offered to you, especially the one where we get on a call and have a conversation, because I would just love to support you. As always, you know that I'm sending you tons of love and lots of light. I'm wishing you an amazing rest of your day and the rest of the week, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye now.